everyone, I'm Chika and you're welcome to WeyChat, sponsored or powered by Landway, one of Nigeria's leading real estate investment companies and powerhouses. Now today we're getting chatty about the reinvent, and that's essentially why it's important that we begin to see everything differently, the immediate need to build business models differently, and the quintessential skills that are needed to operate successful real estate businesses and generally all businesses. And today in the house, we have a team of incredible key players who are steadily flying the bar in their various industries. The first with me today is one of Nigeria's biggest and award-winning lifestyle and entertainment bloggers in Nigeria. She is the founder and creator of Olori Supergirl. Over the years, she has amassed tons and thousands of followership. And so this has made her blog one of the go-to blogs in Nigeria for everything fashion, entertainment, gossip, and lifestyle. Please welcome Oluwatosin Ajibade. It's good to have you here. I love your outfit, by the way. That skirt is so going home with me. Also in the house today, we have a very phenomenal lawyer and creative arts entrepreneur who is also the CEO of Aboriginal Music. Now, in the last over a decade, actually, yes, he's been very actively involved in the fast-paced Nigerian entertainment industry, acting as a legal consultant, counsel to creative artists, and also a negotiator for project financing. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Ihane Ahigbe. That name is sort of a tongue twister, but I got it. In Nigerian, Ihane Ahigbe. So good to have you here. And finally, in the house today, we have a powerful dynamite realtor who is one of our top performers, beautiful, beautiful woman inside and out, and also the CEO of Tricot Properties. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Trinita Akpan. Got it. I nailed it in the back. All right, so let's get talking. I was recently online reading a book by one of my very favorite real estate brokers. He's actually one of the biggest real estate brokers in the world, Frederick Eklund. And so he wrote a book, How to Sell Anything. And he says in the book that every person, every real estate player, or essentially every business professional should spend at least 10% or more of their earnings on personal grooming and appearance. What are your thoughts? Because I see everyone looking so fly, like looking like $1 billion. So I'm like, this is true. But honestly, what are your thoughts? So you kind of, what do you think?
This is my family. This is a minority here.
You're not a minority.
Yes,
but even in the world, I mean, women by far, numbers, statistics. I mean, what's the ratio? 5 women to 1 man, or 10 women to 1 man?
That's why you're not considering that. Okay.
No, not at all.
But look, truth is, there's an old saying, clothes make the man, and also dress to impress. People take you more seriously when you look and sound like you know you're talking about like your main business. So there's a tendency to go with what appears to be well packaged because it gives the impression that you put enough effort into impressing the person, and therefore there is something more for them to listen to. If someone comes to me, it's a stereotype, if someone comes to me looking like they can't take care of themselves, I am highly unlikely on average to listen to them. It's the old cliche, first impressions last. So it's not the most important part of business, but it is key, especially if you're looking for investors and all that. People are not going to see what's inside of you if they don't want to if they can't get past what's outside of you.
Yeah, but so is there any such thing as an overkill? For example, I mean, I'm sure I can tell if you're coming to me with a business pitch, and I'm sure there's such thing as an overkill. Like it's so obvious that you're trying so hard to make an impression or make an overly extremely out there impression.
Well, it's most often than not, the impression of a stranger is formed in 1 second, or in less than 1 second. But in the bid to dress well, or to put out your self-image right there, you need to also be conservative as a business person.
Okay.
Be conservative, dress neatly, dress smartly. Okay, I'm going to use myself as a woman.
Please
downplay on the jewelry.
Okay.
I'm putting on this. Some other person would have done it. Yeah. That's out there. But it's smarter to quiet this down and bring this up. And your general outlook, depending on your body figure, how do you dress? Is it over the top, hugging you in all places? Or is it set in a way that can prefer you as a professional? Remember, when you are a business person, you're asking for somebody's money. The person needs to know, can I trust my money in this person's hands? It's very, very important to put your best foot forward every time, even if you're being casual on a Saturday morning. It's very important. Then again, your casual pictures on social media.
Oh,
I have read
Tosin will know all about
that. That employers these days have actually admitted that they go to candidates' social media pages just to have an idea.
But the overall sense of presence, yeah.
So when you are out there hanging out with your friends at the beach, in church, how do you put out yourself? Is your cleavage out? For the men, do you sag?
Okay, so now,
Why
talking about social media, I mean, I'd like to borrow this off from Tosin, because I know that you built a hugely successful business off social media. What is one reason you would say that most businesses fail? Social media is a business. I mean, you can use social media to promote your business, but in itself, social media is a business. I mean, it's a money-making business. So why do you think that most businesses fail, especially for startups?
Okay, I'll say for beginners or for startups, most people don't really know, or they don't have an input of what they're really doing on social media. So for some people, when they open an account, they don't even know where to start from. They don't know how to even get people to even start following them. For every account you open on social media, there might be a new platform tomorrow. Everybody will just run there, oh, follow me, and you start from zero. So you're building every day, you're building every hour, you're building every second. And one of the key things that people would need when they are actually promoting their business on social online, is for them to have content. So content is very key. Content is what drives engagement, that will bring followers, and that's what retains them for them to stay longer. So we all have followers on Twitter, Facebook, we have Instagram, we have YouTube subscribers, we have LinkedIn for professionals. So how do you make them stay on your page? What do you do exactly? So for a business owner, for a business person, what are you doing every day to make sure that your followers are intact, or they're actually growing on a daily basis? So you need to focus on your content. Content comes before the followers. Don't think about the followers before the content.
All right, so recently, Ihane, I had come across an interview that you did online with Five Music, and there's a quote that you made that absolutely caught my eye, and I quote, it says, artists need to understand that music is a business. However, investors need to understand that the talent isn't easily structured. So let's talk about music as a business. Do the principles that apply to most businesses also apply, to music as a business?
Yes, they do, because fundamentally, in every business, you invest in something and have a profit. And so there are basic rules and regulations with regards to profit. You invest, you put in structures to nurture and protect your investment, you accept a degree of risk, and all things being equal, if you're fortunate, you're successful. However, with music, entertainment, and what I call the creative arts, the tangible difference is you're dealing more with the human element, with the creative element. Now, creativity as a whole is difficult for investors to understand because it's not tangible. I can't give you a song on its own. You can hear a song. I can give you this mug, but I can't give you the songs. I'm giving you air, and you can't see, you can't hold it. So it's a bit more subjective. Now, because it's also pretty much in itself the good, you're dealing with someone's intellectual property, their mind's work, you need to find a way of understanding that individual and explain to service providers, for want of a better word, who are not as structured, because creativity is difficult to. It's the same, the more you try and constrain creativity, the more you diminish it. So you've got to find that midpoint between the structured element for security and stability and success, and the need for freedom of expression. It's tricky and something that I'm still learning, but I think it's very doable.
Awesome. So Teresa, talking about the real estate business, what do you honestly think that right now, looking at the trends, because real estate has changed so much in terms of trends, in terms of developments, in terms of how people run that particular sector in that business. So what do you think that every realtor right now or real estate player should be doing to leverage on the new evolution of the real estate industry, if you have it?
Okay, after all said and done, when I mean after all said and done, I'm talking about you've known about your product knowledge, you know the location, you know all there is pricing, all there is to know. I'm going to borrow a sentence from Olori Supergirl. She talked about processes. Get it right before marketing. Okay? So, how do you leverage as a realtor? You have known all there is to know. But how do you get yourself out there and get your clients to trust you? Most important thing is your relationship. After you have built your personal image, your relationship, how do you handle your clients from the pre-sales, your interview, your interaction with the client, to mid-sales and to post-sales? I find so many realtors out there who immediately after fees have been paid, they're up onto the next client, leaving behind the one who has just completed a transaction with them. But that one can bring referrals 10, 20. So why chase a million out of the bush when you have one or two? Cater for them well. Secondly, technology. Things are changing every day. The way we used to do businesses before, the brick and mortar kind of business, is no longer the way. Nowadays, people don't want to, they can search online for anything. They don't want to leave their houses or their offices and come and inspect or see what you have to do. So, and that's one thing I like about Landway. They have this thing called a virtual tour. So you can send that to your clients. He gets to see right from his bedroom or from his office where it is as he's interested in buying before he takes a decision. Keep up with the relationship. Number 3, networking. The money is in your list. It's on the people that you know. Where do you go to? Where do you hang out? How do you make friends? And how do you leverage on those relationships? That's it.
Very true. Leveraging on relationships. Very, very true. Okay, so let's talk about your book, Olori Supergirl. I've been itching to get a copy of this book, and I've read the reviews about the book. Very awesome, very beautifully written. Olori Supergirl's book, actually, from social media hero to social media misfits. And when I hear misfits, I mean the images that come to head is they're just funny. So who essentially is a social media hero?
Okay, so I'll start from the title of the book, which is Olori Supergirl, from social misfits to social media hero. And it's basically about my story and how everything all started. I mean, 10 years ago, nobody would have known that maybe Facebook, you can actually make money from Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or whatever it is that we have online today. And back then was just basically checking your messages from your cousins or your friends, using your Yahoo Messenger, and now everything has changed. And back then, I was not really into all of this. I was just, it was just something that was just passing by for me. And then I had this passion just to pass out information online, and I usually do that using my Facebook account. Mm-hmm. So, and from the engagement, I saw that people wanted more, people wanted to know more, and then that gave me like a sense of responsibility to make sure that I get them the right information. And that was how I found myself, here. So over the years, I've built the brand from nothing to something.
And that's how it became the business and of a time-consuming hobby. I totally love that.
So building a brand for 10 years is not really easy. It's more or less like having a physical office. It's more or less like having a physical building. So I mean, if you raise the child, back then from 2008, you should know how old the child should be right now. So that was where everything all started. And for me, we're talking about branding and imaging. The first time was more or less like putting myself out there and also making sure people take me serious. So back then, if you introduce yourself as a blogger, you see you as jobless, see you as useless.
So how were you able to?
Yeah, just change narrative and change perspective. I mean, she
single-handedly changed narrative.
Yes, because the thing is that it's what you want. You just go after it and chase after it. I mean, for everybody that I know, to the people that I've met before, we didn't know each other from anywhere. We all maybe met ourselves online. So because in real life, I actually have few friends. So definitely for everybody that I've done business with or anybody that I've done transaction with, we all meet online. So how do you present yourself? How do you let them know that they even need to take you serious? So everything changed, over the years. Like I had to even evolve. how to, move away from the shy person to, being the person out there. So my work and my personal life are just different. But because of what I need to get and the things I need to do, I just had to chase after them.
Awesome. Phenomenal. All right, so let's talk about the narrative as it is right now. In your line of business, Aibe, you're a creative art entrepreneur, you provide legal counseling. What is the narrative right now, especially in the Nigerian context of the business that you do? What is the current narrative? And if you had to reinvent, like if you had all factors at your disposal, what would you reinvent? Not just yourself, but yourself as you fit into your business. How would you reinvent what we have now to a futuristic, appealing scenario of what you would like to see or what you'd like to have? So let's talk about the narrative now and future. If you had to build a future world, utopian world, if you might have it.
Wakanda.
I know, whatever. So let's talk about now and then, now and future.
In the future.
I think where we are right now is I believe we're on the cusp. I honestly believe we're on the cusp of the golden age for Nigerian and by extension African creativity. Largely because Nigeria is it's literally the powerhouse of Africa as far as population, potential, and resources. We have the fourth.
Okay, because I squeezed at you when you say Nigeria is potential. Numbers.
We have the biggest entertainment industry. I mean, you name 10 African musicians or actors. The top 7, 8 will be Nigerians. In fact, the best rapper in the world from Africa, MI, is Nigerian. Let's not downplay our success.
Okay.
But I think we're on the cusp because over the last 5-10 years, we've slowly moved into something that we can be proud of as Nigerians. You go to most clubs right now, you're listening to mostly Nigerian music, you go into most cinemas, we're on the cusp of the golden age. And there's a lot of potential there. What I think is necessary on the business end will be more public-private partnerships so that the infrastructure needed, or at least the burdens that make it difficult to really propel our industry into we need more tax breaks, we need more incentives from government. I also think we need more reaching across the divide between the creative sector, the business sector, and the public sector, because we all need to put our hands together. I use Wakanda because if you actually watch that movie, it's a system where the private individual, the reigning government, and the science and technology came together to create a nation where everybody could flourish. Well, besides Killmonger. And even he got his chance at the throne. So I wouldn't want to rocket jump into the future. I think the best things happen, as Lori said, by building. There's a golden era coming up right now. We have our movies being shown on movies like Kolia for Lion being shown on different movies and products, and also on airlines. So our content is being streamed across. We're on live TV, we have Chocolate City, EME, moving to different areas of entertainment besides music. They're also doing events management. We just need to, and this is a Nigerian thing, we just need more simplicity. We need better infrastructure, we need better economic policies, because this industry employs the youth. So we need to have those dialogues between the creative side, the business side, the legal side, and the government side. We do that over the next 10 years. I kid you not. We will look at things like China and say, you're done.
We're right behind.
We are there because Africa alone should be our market. Nigeria first, 180 million people. Come on. So I wouldn't change anything. I just think it's all there. We just need to go there and build it. And I look at, so that's like a Lori Supergirl, yourself, Trinity, and even the gentleman behind this mic, doing what he loves doing with tools at his disposal. And I see potential. I just think we need to just work more to make it easier for potential to turn into reality.
All right, so Madam Trinita, let's just piggyback off what he said and still delving into the same question. I know that real estate has changed so much. Right now, there are new trends in real estate that are unbelievable. The developments are coming up. I mean, if you had to picture what our real estate industry would be like, say, 5-10 years from now, what exact scenarios would you visibly paint in terms of how we would develop our industry and what we expect to see in Nigeria that would put us really out there to compete with? Not compete, but favorably be a parallel for places like Dubai, or what would you picture?
Nigerians are looking out for affordability. They are looking out for structure. They are looking out for security, and they are also looking out for technologically driven environments like you have in Dubai.
Smart homes.
Smart homes. Then you have a teeming population of young professionals, single professionals, people who are within the age group of 30 to 40, unmarried. And they're also looking out for cozy apartments. But what you find presently is either a 4-bedroom, a big mansion, or a 2-bedroom. The market for that demographic is not yet there. And so we're asking developers, come up with something to fit into that market space that also encompasses all of these things I have mentioned in terms of security, structure, and environment and technology. Since everything nowadays, businesses are done online. Nobody has to drive distances to communicate or to transact. So people want to bring these seats from the comfort of their homes and get it done. Secondly, the market is also looking for a face. You as a realtor, do you make your client feel you? Do you feel the pulse of your client? What is this client? It's more about the developer now.
So personal connections?
Yes. What does your client want in terms of budget and location? So somebody has said, I have this for sale, and you have to push it, but does your client really want that? What is he looking for in terms of durability, solidity of structure? So we come back again to our developers and our block industry makers. What we see these days are, I buy a home, I can't live in for more than 2 years or 3 years because the structure is falling apart, right on me. So really and truly, in the real estate industry, the developers have a lot of work to do. And we are, as a group, we have the Real Estate Developers Association of Nigeria, REDA. We are constantly talking about that. In terms of affordability, we are pushing for mortgage facilities, and that's beginning to come up because these days you're hearing a lot of banks now offering mortgages. So to sort out the issue of affordability, okay, and that's basically it. So if we can toe this line consistently with government's backing, be it whoever is coming into election in the next 2019, we don't want the next person coming to tear down what has been built over the last person. So if we continue in this space within the next 5 years, I think Lagos.
I have very strong sentiments about that.
Beautiful place to be.
No, so talking about social media, recently Mark Zuckerberg, or Facebook essentially, had announced that. They didn't announce, but it came on the news that they had made quite a huge loss. and I mean, it's murky waters. I guess they of course foresaw it coming because even they had kind of made their own internal projections as to what their books would be saying. But what do you think? I mean, going by the fact that it's very hard to say, for example, how Instagram will do in the next quarter, how do you think that would affect the way that people do businesses on social media? How would you, what would be a safety net, for example, regardless of the rise and fall? Okay. What would be a safety net for people?
Okay, so what I would say is that for everyone who has a business online or social media, should start building that email list. So for any platform can shut down tomorrow. We're seeing platforms come and go. I've been on so many platforms.
You can even remember the names.
I actually remember some.
Okay.
Like I've been on those platforms, and of course we've seen them leave, and then we've seen some stay, over the years. So anything can happen tomorrow, regardless of whatever platform it is. I remember Facebook owns WhatsApp and Instagram, so anything can happen tomorrow. So what you need to do basically is just to build your email list. Start, I would say, start transferring your followers online and start requesting for their email addresses and their phone numbers, which is very, very important, so that you can actually have your own email list. So email marketing will never die. Once you have those lists, you're building from 100 to 1,000 to 10,000. Before you know it, you have 200,000. Before you know it, 2 million, and that's it. They are your contacts. You actually, got them from the right, source or something like that. That is the reason why sometimes people want to have events or anything, they have to buy database. Okay, buy database and all that. So where do you think they got them from? So why not just use the same system to just, tell your followers, tell them to invite them to win something. So let's say, for instance, the first 10 people who gets this right will get a freebie from us. From the freebie, you make sure that you get their email address and their phone number, their names. You add them to your email list. Before you know it, you are building. So if in case anything happens tomorrow, your business is not affected. You still have contacts with those people that have been there since when everything all started. So
that's actually very smart thinking. Now I'm going to throw this at you because I actually saw this on your Instagram page, and you had posed this question: would you ever buy property, say in your spouse's name or in your fiance's name?
No,
your boy?
I won't. Yeah, I won't.
Why?
Sorry.
Okay, so how about if you've been married for 15, 20 years? I mean, you've built a life.
You asked the question. I'm single, but you asked the question, and and the response was back to you as a single person. I would not, even if I'm in a relationship. I would not.
Why?
Why should I?
You don't get carried away by emotions and
not really. Sorry, emotions.
Is it essentially a trust issue or something that's just not advisable
really say,
to do?
If I'm single and I'm not married,
so how about if you're married, for example?
I can't really say. I'd rather buy maybe my kid's name, but I'm not really sure about it.
Hannah, I see that you're pouting. Yes. From a legal point of view.
Would, for a number of reasons. Okay. I'll put my name or my wife's name all in the trust for the kids. For one very simple reason, it's always try and leave assets for your dependents. While I'm alive, I can enjoy the property, but once I'm dead, I want my family taken care of. I can sell the property, they can rent it out. So yeah, I will have no problem with it because once you get married to somebody, basically trying to pledge a future together, and you are building a family future. So I have no problem with it. My house actually is this is my wife's name, so I beg. Look after me. No, it's I get the point. As a bachelor, I wouldn't do it because there's less of a reason to, there's more probability that things may not work out and they work out. So it's a risk to put something that belongs to you, that you've invested and worked hard for, in a partner to whom you're not even bound to legally. If I have a business and I put up the property as a shared thing, that's my business partner. But my girlfriend, my fiance, no. But my wife, one of my children, what's going to happen? You leave me tomorrow, you take the property, the kids are fine. So
in a way, part of me is wondering if why Tosi said no is because sometimes a man to woman is kind of different from when it's different. So for example, a woman might say, "Oh, I have reservations about buying property in her husband's name," but the husband might have no reservation buying properties in. Do you think that's the case? Is that what's happening here? Because she's saying, "No, I can't buy in my husband's name," but he said, "Oh, I can buy in my wife's name." Do you think it's a function of the gender?
Really and truly, that is what we have come to say. The women probably be coming from the point of view, he may leave me and go ahead and marry somebody else. He may just marry a second wife. He may say he's done, or God forbid he passes on, his family will come and take everything away from him. That has been the African culture, and that's what we have suffered over the years. Our mothers have warned our generation. We find ourselves warning the
But it's
younger
changing.
generation.
Women are walking away from marriages and relationships.
Yeah.
Women are being as promiscuous as men.
We are not supposed to. Actually, we are not supposed to encourage that.
No. But the facts speak for themselves. We're not encouraging them.
Well, what I was to say, I'm still going to toe his line.
Okay.
While you were single, buy a property in your name with next of kin of your family, not a partner, not somebody who's not yet legally bound to you. And after you have gotten married, whether as a woman or as a man, agree within yourselves. Are we going to buy property Mr. Kenechukwu and Mrs. Ngozi, your son? There's no Mr. and Mrs. here, because anybody could be a Mrs. tomorrow, another person could be a Mr. tomorrow. What happens to that property? Next of kin always should be in the name of your child. If that child is not yet of age, then next of kin should be in the next trusted person with a clause. The moment the child comes of age, all transfer title goes to the child. That's the way to go about it.
Okay, thank you. Well said. And on that note, we come to the successful, beautiful end of the WeyChat session. I had fun chatting with this dynamite, this giant in the house. Thank you so much, Sophie, everybody, for coming through. I know it was, tight schedule. Thank you so much, Hane, for coming through today. And thank you so much for blessing us all with your rich wealth of knowledge and know-how. And that's how it's been. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube page, follow us on all our social media, Facebook, Instagram, and everything else. This is Chica signing out.